month-long bus strike is still in effect. Bus driver union officials have yet to come to an agreement with the Department of Transportation over working wages for the drivers. The bus drivers continue to protest outside City Hall. Meanwhile, all public bus routes are still shut down. And in our lead story for tonight, the Umbrella Bandits strike again, this time attacking a group of 3 carpoolers on their way to work. Once again, the victims' car keys were stolen, but no attempt was made to steal the vehicle. All 3 were hospitalized. 2 were admitted to the local ICU. Doctors say the 2 victims were beaten so badly, they've slipped into blind comas. The 3rd victim was released from the hospital several hours after the attack, but swiftly committed suicide, claiming shame as his primary motive in a final letter to his family. We have also obtained a video that has gone viral on the internet in recent weeks. It is amateur footage of the Umbrella Bandits' unprovoked attacks. We must warn you, it is extremely violent and deeply disturbing. Tragic. Police have yet to establish suspects or even a motive for these crimes.
And they never will. Our Department of Justice is just as broke as our Department of Transportation. With no funds to do any real police work, it seems the precincts have been hiring the most incompetent men they can find, just so they won't have to promote them. Even if the cops did have a reliable lead on this case, they could only promise justice. I need vengeance. Those sick bastards deserve no dignity, as they've shown me none. They attack innocent civilians when they're at their most vulnerable. Soulless cowards. I've been tracking their whereabouts for weeks now. They've been carrying out these beatings in specific locations throughout the city, attracting pedestrians in a route that traces an umbrella. Some kind of twisted message carried out by a bunch of lunatics wielding 3 or even 4 pounds of flexible metal wrapped in waterproof fabric. A new weapon of terror for a new breed of terrorist. Well, their message is loud and clear, and I've got a response. Their attacks are becoming progressively later in the day. This past attack, I missed them by just a few minutes. I must have shown up just moments late, but I was the first to witness the carnage of the most violent crime to date. One man was slashed so viciously, the vinyl had swiped his brow clean off. He couldn't bear to look his family in the face after the attack, so he took his own life. And now the other 2 are in blind comas. I must avenge them. Not to mention my own plight, suffered by the long reach of the Umbrella Bandits. This time I'll arrive early. I'll catch them by surprise, just as they caught me. And if they think their attacks were brutal, they'll shiver at the intensity a desperate man brings when he's been driven to his wit's end. This location marks the end of their city-wide reign of beatings, completing their symbolic umbrella tour of terror. And the end brings back memories of the beginning, how I got caught up in this vigilante business. Not a champion of the people, but an equally sadistic monster as those rotten bandits. I'm out to claim my vendetta and my trophy, that fucking umbrella. That day had it out for me from the get-go. Torrential rains woke me up before dawn. I walked a quarter mile towards the nearest bus stop on my way to work before I remembered the bus routes were shut down. This led to a 15-mile trek to my work. I arrived 1 hour and 37 minutes late, according to the shift manager. He fired me on the spot. I stumbled upon a strip mall where I thought I saw a help wanted sign in the window of a local burger joint. Figured I'd head in and see if they would hire me. Just as I began to walk towards it, I felt a sharp pain under my right eye socket. I had been blinded by a sky blue umbrella with lion's head bordering its frame. I fell to the ground, but they continued to rain blows down upon me. Miraculously, I was able to roll away. Two followed, but by the time I came to a stop, they did not pursue me. They continued to relentlessly beat the other three victims with their umbrellas. Sometimes I can still hear that sharp whistle of vinyl fabric cutting through the cold air just before the aluminum skeleton makes contact with solid bone. And the last image I have of that wretched day is of that sky blue umbrella being washed clean of my blood. What is their motive? Wreaking havoc on the lives of the working class who have now been robbed of their one time they can find peace of mind, their daily commute between home and work. What dignified excuse could they have? But it doesn't seem I'll get an answer this day. All the worker bees have found refuge indoors and out of the predatory zone of the Umbrella Bandits. Why haven't they attacked? Is it because of the suicide? Clearly my research was not thorough enough. Vagrant Souls Cemetery, the final resting place of the most tragic of all the Umbrella Bandits' victims. The Family Baptist Church wouldn't take his remains after what he did. Is that? It couldn't be.
We just want things back the way they were. We just wanted our jobs back. Please, don't cross the yellow line.